Hey guys, Tony TV here, and welcome to my new series, my career mode, with a third-party app for Microsoft Flight Sim called OnAir Airline Manager, as you can see here. So, for those that are wondering, what is OnAir Airline Manager? OnAir Airline Manager is a career mode add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim, X-Plane, and all the other flight sim platforms, and I guess it's the alternative to the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 Career Mode. So a lot of talk has happened and a lot of controversy has come about around the career mode, which, don't get me wrong, I've really been enjoying my career mode playthrough on Microsoft Flight Sim, and I'm going to take a small step away from it to focus on my OnAir Airline Manager career path. For one of the main reasons I'm going to do that is the Microsoft Flight Sim Career Mode in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is very much a hand-holding exercise. It very much holds your hand and says, here's the mission, do this, fly here, talk ATC here, do the other, follow this path. Oh, here's your landing pattern, all of that. It very much holds your hand through it all. Some of the advantages of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024's career mode over some of these other third-party career mode, the certifications like your private pilot license, your commercial pilot license, the IR rating, all of those, that's a bit of a benefit. The in-depth repairing of the planes when you set up your own companies, very, very in-depth. However, the career mode does come with its own restrictions, its own bugs. Like I said, the very much the hand holding, but not only that, the way the passive income is set up and how the passive income is, you're better off getting the smaller planes, and the big planes don't really mean anything. You can't have other people fly the planes or AI fly the planes really, unless you're flying. There's a lot of restrictions. So OnAir Airline Manager is one of these bonds that's basically you got that career mode and you got this career path. If you want to know more about it, go to onair.company, and at the top there head over to where is it, OnAir Airline Manager here. That'll take you to this page, and from here there's a lot that you can follow to see what it's all about. Now, so what is it? You start your own airline basically from the start. You grow it to become a larger airline. You start by renting small aircraft, transporting goods or passengers. You can fly the missions yourself in the sim. If you can use virtual pilots, AI pilots. You do have to check the weather. It is in real-time weather because taking the job and not being able to complete it can be costly. So you got to check your weather. You earn XP and reputation to try and unlock skill points. What else is there? Flight tracking. So with this, you now have the ability to use your own third-party ATCs if you don't want to use Microsoft Flight Sim's ATC. So you can use your stay intentions, beyond ATC, VATSIM. All of those are now compatible. You've also got, SimBrief and Navigraph now start to come into play to create your flight paths, to check your charts and all of that. So it's a really cool. You've then got industries where you can start to produce goods and sell them on the trading hall, or sell them or keep them to use for your own purpose, like to create airport ownership kits so you can buy airports. You can hire and manage various employees. You can hire them on weekly or hourly rates. You can create work orders so you can have your planes being flown by AI constantly, earning you income. You can do charter jobs, custom company routes, freelance routes, It's a real world sort of world, essentially. And you can choose from 3 different worlds. All right, and they do seasonal events as well. But you can choose from 3 different worlds, and here's the 3 different worlds. So the 3 different worlds you can choose from are Cumulus, Stratus, and Thunder. Now, before I do continue, one thing I did forget to say. This is a third-party app. You can do a free trial. They do have plans. It is a subscription-based add-on. So before anyone goes and says, "Oh, I'm trying this out, but now I've got to pay," it is a subscription-based add-on. But as I was saying, you get to choose from 3 worlds. You can actually enter all 3, so you can have a company in all 3 worlds simultaneously. The Cumulus world is your relaxed and casual sort of area. No leaderboards. You can use AI pilots. You can create a virtual airline, but only with 10 players max, 10 members max. It's the first time sort of gamers with OnAir. It lets you learn the ropes. It's easier to make money. The payouts are sort of multiplied, and it's designed so that you'll never really go in the red. You'll always just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. Believe it or not, when I started mine, I got myself to a $2.2 billion cash balance, and I've got a company value of $3.4 billion in my Cumulus company. This is your next level up. This is where it's a little bit more challenging. The payouts aren't as high. It's a little bit more difficult. But again, you can still use AI to fly planes for you. You can create a virtual airline, but with 10 members max. But there is leaderboards now. So this is where you start to get a little bit more serious. You've learnt the way. You've learnt the ropes with Cumulus. Now you're going, okay, I wanted more of a challenge. And that's where you go to the Stratus world. Then you have Thunder. Thunder is where it's at. Thunder is your challenging without AI. Now, when it says no AI pilots, you do still have to hire AI pilots if you need a co-pilot in your plane, if you need crew, cabin crew. You need to hire them. You have to pay them. If you don't want to do the check ride for a jet engine rating for your you can use an AI pilot, hire an AI pilot to fly the plane, but you still have to fly the job in the sim. Every flight has to be flown in the sim. I can't stress that enough. In Thunder, you must fly every flight. Virtual airlines can be created with an unlimited number of members. You could have 1 member, just yourself. You could have 15 members. You could have 1,000 members. Virtual airlines are unlimited members, and there's leaderboards involved. And in Thunder, it is a lot harder to make money easily. You really have to grind your way through it. Some of the features that you can get, it's persistent real world time, so it's 24/7, never stop. Real time weather, real world events. It's phenomenal how much the AI in this works. The logistics center where you get all your jobs, thousands of assignments ready to go. Never even wonder where you're going. You just fly. You pick up an assignment and you fly. From wherever your plane is, you can find a job from that airport to various places. Flight tracking. So your flights are tracked and automatically integrated into the system. Accelerated time in the simulator, though, is supported. However, if you're doing a flight and it says it's supposed to take so long and you've used this sim rate increase, that flight won't technically finish on air until that sim rate sort of catches up. Survival mode, it's a level of the game basically where it's meant to make the game more challenging. You access the leaderboard based on your company return on assets ratio and so on. You get to gain your skills. You make your company more efficient, or being able to handle more complex tasks using your skill points on the skill tree. as you increase your skill tree, you can do things like, where was it? Let me bring it up. Medical jobs, dangerous jobs, last minute jobs. You can do hiring dreams, so you can be able to hire employees. There's a banking sort of route where you can start being able to take loans into your company to be able to try and get more cash inflow in to help you get bigger and better players to make more money per job. You do skill points so you can decrease your landing fees and your parking fees. All of this now starts coming into play. Fuel cost, parking fees, landing fees, everything comes into play. Realistic company management's in there. I'll take you a little bit through that as well, with detailed accounting, balance sheet, income statement, company ratios, bank loans, RAI employees, detailed accounting, buy, rent or lease aircraft. So you can buy, rent or lease your aircraft. FBOs, you can create FBOs and aircraft maintenance. There is so much to this Career Mode add-on. It is phenomenal. You can create strategic alliances between you and other players. So player interaction is actually encouraged, unlike in Microsoft Flight Sims 2024's Career Mode, where there is no interaction with other human players. You can outsource jobs to your friends or to virtual airlines. So the job types: goods, transports, passengers, fragile, dangerous materials, medical, like medical equipment and medical stuff. That falls under the cargo. Then you've got executive jobs, perishable goods, event logistics, sightseeing, fighter tours. So you can fly the fighter jets. Rescue missions, undercover, gliders, offshore. Firefighting will be coming soon. So obviously, rescue missions and firefighting, they are, integrating into what's being brought into Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. FBO queries. So once you set up an FBO, you can then start creating jobs from your FBOs. Freelance jobs and outsourcing. So there is a whole host of things that you can do in this add-on. Obviously, like I said, it is a subscription based. They've got subscriptions based on whether you want to pay monthly, yearly, 12 monthly, 24 monthly. Like, they've got a range of different things there. Like I said, you can try the free trial. If you want a bit more of a guide, you can go into the manual and the tutorial videos. They are really good. I'll give you a quick little rundown of how it works. So I've reset my company in Stratus for the purpose of this video, for the purpose of sort of showing you bits and pieces of this moving forward. I have restarted my company in Stratus. So, like I said, you can have a company in all three different worlds. I've got a company in Thunderworld in Cumulus. I had one in Stratus, but I'm restarting it because there's some new features as well that have come in since the last time I actually played this. I actually opened this up for the first time in about 5-6 months, and there's already some new features that I didn't know about until yesterday. So when you open up your OnAir Airline Manager program for the first time, you'll choose which world you want to start in and you'll click on Start My Company. And here we go. So let's choose an avatar. Where's one that I like the look of? Which one do we like? Oh, look at that. Look how many different avatars there are that you can choose from. I don't even know which one we like. No, I don't like that one. Like that one. Yeah. How about that one? You know what? We like that one. So then you set up a company name. But Eagle Air Company is what we're going to call Eagle Air Company Limited. There you go. For our pilot sort of name, that's our pilot name. And then, let's see, what date of birth we're going to give ourselves. Let's go with 88. February. Today's the 23rd of Feb, isn't it? We use today's date, but 1988. And this is now where you get to choose your home airport. Now, you're not restricted in which airport you can choose as your home airport. If you want to choose a larger airport, you want to choose LAX, you want to choose JFK, you want to choose, Hong Kong International, Athens, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, you want to choose Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, you can choose any airport, or you can go to one of the smaller ones. I think I'm going to start with the airport that's close to my home. Okay, it's only a size 2. It's only a size 2. All right. You know what? Yeah, I will. I don't care. I'm going to choose that. I was thinking of choosing maybe a size 3, all right, but I'll choose that. It's a size 2. From here, this is where you can now choose whether you're using Microsoft Flight Sim, P3D, X-Plane, or Tycoon Mode. Now, Tycoon Mode, you might be wondering, I don't know about any flight sim that's Tycoon Mode. Tycoon Mode is one where is a setting here where if you want to just completely run this AI, you don't want to fly any of the missions. You just want to control what happens, hire the AI pilots, they do everything for you. You just try and build the company. You can do that. For the purpose of what we're doing, though, we're going to choose Microsoft Flight Sim because that's what we're using. You hit create, and now your company is being created. Doing all its checks, it's loading up Eagle Air Company. Wait for it. Be created. Now, this is the new section that I was just talking about before. So this is something that's only become very new in the last sort of 6 months, roughly. And this is the freelance dashboard. This is, if you look into Microsoft Flight Sim Career Mode, when you're working as an employee, working for other people, that's essentially what this freelance dashboard is. So from here, you can take on some charter jobs or regular routes, join a virtual airline. There's a whole host of virtual airlines in the various worlds. These are just the ones that are in the Stratus world that you can join. You can see how many members there are. You can see how many aircraft there are, how many flights they've done in the last 30 days, how many flight hours in the last 30 days in the sim, what are their most popular airports, and then you can apply. So there is a whole host of virtual airlines that you can go and join. We'll, I'm sure, be very happy to take you on and show you the ropes and have you flying for them. Provide you with a plane and have you flying. I'm sure they can do it. All right. So that's one other feature. So this is where you can take on jobs like you do in Microsoft Flight Sim Career Mode. You can browse the logistics center for charter jobs. Whether you want to go cargo, whether you want to go sightseeing and whatnot. You can choose which aircraft you want and departure based on what's happened in your simulator. You can detect from your simulator whether it detects an airport or whatnot. Obviously, I haven't set that up properly at the moment. Or you can look at regular routes, which is where you go and you apply for a route. So here you can go and say, okay, I want to fly let's say the United States Airlines. Like American Airlines. So you can look at what routes they do. And you can say, I want to start from, when it loads up all their routes. So this is all the different areas that American Airlines runs from. Say, I want to fly from let's see, let's choose Dallas Fort Worth. And yeah, if you want to create it for a Boeing 777, or if you want to generate a schedule for the aircraft that you've got in the sim, you then there's no weekly schedule for a C-172. But if you want to generate one for the 777, you can, if they've got any, so on and so forth. But obviously you've got to change all your parameters in there. I'm not going to go through all of those little bits and pieces there. From here, you can look at your cash flow with your freelance jobs. You can look at your live map to see where your planes are, see what flights your other planes are doing or what other people are doing for freelance jobs. And then the other area is your settings. Now, the settings is where it's really important. This is where you've got to decide, okay, is the Microsoft Flight Sim? You can download and install community packages if you need to. From there, you can then decide which synthetic voice you want, Vera or David.
Hello, welcome to OnAir Company.
Okay. Which aircraft do you want to use for your level missions? I'll get into that in a minute, but you can change that or just leave it as your biggest in your fleet. You can change your name and your call sign. For example, I want to be Eagle Air. You can put your sim brief airline code in there as well if you've set all that up. And then you go through here. General sounds, leave that on. Use smaller airports. You don't have to. If you take that off, it'll generally only sort of use the bigger airports. Only use simulator vanilla airports. I would leave that on. Exclude airports not in sim brief, definitely, because you don't want to be mucking around with trying to set up a flight plan for an airport that's not in SimBrief. Failures during Flight Simulator, well, that's up to you whether you include them or not. Register your flight on engine shutdown. That is one that I think is a very important one, because when OnAir connects to Microsoft Flight Sim, once you shut down your engines, it will then automatically shut down the flight in OnAir and say that it's been completed. Otherwise, you can shut your engines down, you can forget to complete your flight in OnAir, and then you're going to be mucking around to see what's happening and things go wrong and so on and so forth. In-flight Sim Connect auto saves, well, it's up to you whether you do that one. It may cause stuttering when certain complex aircraft. So what that is if you're flying in a mission and your flight sim decides to have a spaz attack and it's it shuts down, or something goes wrong with the sim and you're stuck in the middle of the flight, you can actually go back and reload yourself into the sim at the same point and continue your flight in OnAir through the sim as well. Flight notifications, I would leave that on. Flight tracking sounds, I would leave that on as well. Announcing when wind on final approach, well, you can or can't. It's up to you whether you do that. Write ATC information in the simulator. I wouldn't, because sometimes you'll be using your own ATC, like your say intentions or your beyond ATCs or VATSIM, or whichever one you want to be using. That's where you would not want that in there. Fulfilling destination when loading your payload, I would recommend leaving that in there. realistic procedures in simulator. Definitely leave that in there. The 3D objects to display in Microsoft Flight Sim, your rescue missions, sightseeing missions, all of that, I would leave those in there as well. So the other things you can do in here is, well, I just quickly save any changes that I made. You can switch to the light theme, which makes it like a white screen rather than the dark theme. I think generally you start with the light theme. I've already moved it over to the dark theme a while ago. You can pause your company. So if you're not going to play for a while, and you want to pause any loans or aircraft ownerships or any of that, you can do that from here, and you can pause it until you're ready to resume. The other thing you can do is, if you find that you've put your company into the red and it's one of those things where there is no way you can pull yourself out of it, you're better off just resetting the whole thing. This delete my company essentially is the reset. It's what I did to reset my status company for the purpose of doing this video and seeing what the new features were. So this is where you would then delete it. Around here, your unique user ID and your company unique ID and your company API key, state intentions pilot key. This is all for integrations with other, which you'll go through those if if you want. There's your flight logs in here, mail, so you can actually message other members, like friends of yours, on here, and you can email each other, hey, do you want to help me out with the job or whatnot. So there's a lot that you can actually do with this freelance dashboard. This freelance dashboard, very much like the Microsoft Flight Sim Career Mode, is here you go, here, learn how this works, so you don't get the full workings of the thing. This is your onboarding mode. Okay, you work as a freelance pilot to get more credits to start your company. So you work and get heaps of money, and then you roll over into a company, and all of a sudden, hey, I've got heaps of cash, I'm going to buy the best planes and do this. Whereas a lot of people, myself included, like to go this route here, where we go the advanced career. So you are currently working as a freelance pilot in special onboarding mode. This mode provides a streamlined experience, allowing you to easily navigate and access available jobs without the responsibility of company management during the initial journey with the new company. You can switch to advanced career mode at any time to access complete classic features. If needed, you can later switch back to freelance only mode. But when you're transitioning to advanced career mode, your company will receive a special cash bonus equal to double the current cash balance. So there's currently not a cash balance here. So if I'd done a whole heap of freelance jobs and gone to, say, 100,000 credits, when I switch over to advanced career mode, they will give me another 200,000 credits. Great. It means I'm going to have heaps of money to start my career mode with a bigger plane and whatnot. However, if you really want the full experience and you really want to grind it out and really start a career mode from the start, I recommend doing this. I'm now changing to advanced career mode. So advanced career mode, now this is the screen that I'm more familiar with. Coming up now from when I started this game, when I started it so long ago. So this is your advanced career mode. You start with 10,000 cash. You've still got your charter jobs, your out jobs, so you can still work as a freelance pilot. You can still do that. You just don't get that little bonus of, hey, whatever you make, we're going to double it or triple it. This is now you're starting from scratch. You've got to get your own aircraft. You've got to pay the rent or the lease or whatever it might be. You've got to get jobs. You've got to level up, all of these things. So, one of the first things you do, you come out here. This is where your skill points. Okay. So for your skill points, you've got to level up. You need 1,000 XP points to get up to level 2. Once you get to level 2, you get some more XP points. You start with one XP point, with one skill point, and you got to choose which route you want to go with. So, if you want to get passenger license, which will allow you to unlock jobs with passengers. Hiring agreement will allow you to hire employees and freelancers. FBOs will allow you to create an FBO, but you don't want to do that until you've got some credits behind you. Loan agreements if you want to get a loan from the bank. And then from there, you can then follow which route you want to do. Getting last minute jobs to get higher payouts, medical jobs to transfer medical gear. Do you want to go hiring agreement and then better instructors to train your employees? Do you want to go the financial route and negotiate your parking fees to get 5% reduced parking fees, another 10%, same with landing fees? There is a whole host of ways you can actually attack this. Me personally, I would probably go with the passenger license initially, then get the hiring agreement, then probably work on one of the other routes. From there, FBOs is where you go to look at what FBOs you've created, if you have any. Employees, well, at the moment, the only employee is you. So there I am, there's me. I'm positioned at Shell Harbour Airport. That's where my base is. So on, so flight hours. And here is where you can then, if I want to change my base and change it to Kingsford Smith International, which is Sydney, I can then go and change my base and start my relocation. So now, because I'm situated at Shell Harbour Airport, I can start my relocation. So I'm transporting myself, which is going to take me 48 minutes. So for 48 minutes, I cannot use my island. I don't mind. That's fine. I'm just showing you how these things work. Down the bottom here, you're going to have tips, advice on where to go to next, what to do next. So they recommend go to the aircraft market, get your first aircraft, go to the logistics center, get yourself a pending job. It's important to get your first aircraft first because I'll show you what happens next in terms of your XP and jobs. So let's do that. So let's go aircraft market. Now, with the aircraft market, you can either go one of two routes. You can browse the aircraft market manually, which is what I would recommend to do, or you can search the aircraft for a plane you got loaded in your simulator, but that will only do that if you've loaded into the simulator and clicked start flight, which I haven't done. But we're going to browse it manually. And I'm going to show you how this works because a lot of people are going to go, oh, look, there's a whole list of things there that I can get if a certain button is unticked. And you're going to go, oh, but I can't afford this and I can't afford that. There is a way to filter down what you can and can't afford at any point in time. Now, it's loading the aircraft database. It's taking a little while because there is quite a few planes that you can load. So if I untick that, this is going to show every plane that is available in the add-on. Now, a lot of these planes aren't going to be available in Microsoft Flight Sim. So a lot of these planes you may not be able to use. A lot of people won't have the Antonov AN225 available in Microsoft Flight Sim. You can use it here in OnAir though. You can't use it in Microsoft Flight Sim for some reason if you don't have it. You may not have the A321 or the A321neo available. You might not have the A320 available. You have to sit there and look at what you have available and go from there. So for the purpose of filtering down what you can and can't afford, you show affordable aircraft only. But then you're going to say, look at this max price. I can't afford some of these planes. This is where it then gets interesting. Let's use the Cessna 172 as the example. So for the Cessna 172, 172 Skyhawk, I could purchase that max price 119,700 credits. I don't have that. However, if we go click on it and go here to your display, sell, rent, lease offers, you'll see what I'm talking about. But before we do that, if you click on compatible add-ons, these are the various add-ons that you can use in the various sims if you want to use them. So there's the Cessna Skyhawk G1000 for a Mostobo. There's the aerial advertising variation. There's the, where was it? There should be the other one, the analog version. I can't remember where it is, but yeah, you go in there and you can see what's compatible with your flight sim. But if you go here to display, sell, rent, and lease offers, this is where I'm talking about. If you buy a brand new one, you can buy it for $143,640. And this is what's on offer around Kingsford Smith. This is what's on offer around where my base of operations is. Okay, you can look at your condition. You can look at your condition of your engines. One that's not too badly damaged, get one that's in pretty good condition. And some of them will have a rent price, some don't, but all of them will have a lease price. So with this one here, I can lease this plane, I can rent this plane, I should say, for 240 credits per flight hour, but I've got to pay a 2,400 credit rent bond up front. Or I can lease the plane, where leasing, you can spend $1,320 per week. That's your weekly pay, but you have to pay, but you've got a minimum of 4 weeks that you've got it for, and you have to pay 3 weeks worth up front. So you'll only pay 3,960 credits, and you've got this for 4 weeks, and you only have to pay for the last week of it. You can then choose whether you want full eco, full business, full first class, no seats to go, the cargo variation, whatever it might be. And then you can lease this plane. Now, what I would recommend doing is going and looking at, if you're renting the plane, you don't have to pay the cost of repairs and the annual checkup. The owner does that. You're just renting it. When it gets down to a level that it's no longer in good condition to what you want, you can give the plane right back. If you lease it or buy it, you are now responsible for all the repairs, annual checkup, and the where is it? Repairs, annual checkups, and the workshop inspections. So put all that in mind. But also keep in mind, look at the dry rent per hour, the flight hour. If you were to rent this plane, you would have to pay the rental bond of 2,400 credits, but then every time you fly, for every hour you fly, you are up for 230 credits. So all of a sudden, it is now costing you, let's say you do 10 flights a day, it's costing you 2,300 credits if you do 10 hours of flying. If you do 2 hours of flying a day for 5 days, that's 10 hours, that's 2,300 credits. In which case, you would be better off leasing the plane, because instead of 2,300 for the week at 10 hours of flying, it's only going to cost you 1,320 for the week. Keep in mind, you are now up for repairs, you are now up for inspections, you are now up for, you've got the plane for 4 weeks. Me, I'm deciding I'm going to lease the plane. I'm going to leave it all as economy seats. I'm going to lease it for 4 weeks. So I'm going to pay the 3,960 credits. Notice I've now ticked this box here. Teleport my pilot to the aircraft location and generate a return job. So, let's do that. We've now leased a Cessna 172. Yay! Okay, where is this Cessna 172? It is at the Oaks Airport. It is a size 1 airport. This is now where I ticked that box where it said to generate a return job. I go back to my company dashboard. I'm going to take you through some more of the things. So have a look here. This is the job. So if you click on here, you can see what jobs you have pending in your company. So at the moment, I have this level 1 mission job. Notice it gives me 1,000 XP. Now that 1,000 XP, that level 1 mission job, is now going to move me up to level 2 very quick. These level missions, I can't stress enough how important I think, in my opinion, the level missions are. They are, I believe, very important. And they are based on what aircraft you have in your company at the time. And remember earlier when I was saying, if you go to your settings, and let me go to the global settings now, and you can now choose, if you've got 5 aircraft and you want your mission quests, your mission jobs to be set to that particular aircraft, you change it, you save it, and you're ready to go. So now I've got a job. My pilot is there. Everyone is there. So now it's stopped the movement of my pilot to Sydney. My pilot is now here, along with the plane. We have to fly that plane back to Sydney. We're taking 1 passenger and 70 cargo, 70 pounds of cargo. So it's only putting it 75 degrees and a 32 nautical mile flight, so it's not a very long flight. And from there we can do that flight and in the sim, but we've got to set up the flight first. And I'll take you through that process in another video. This is just an overview to show you all the different pieces. This is your current cash balance, so you can have a look here to see what's happening. We started with the 10,000 cash, that's our owner's equity. And then we've just released the airplane for 3,960 credits. Our company value is minus 4,000 because we've leased the plane. Our income for the week, we've spent money, we haven't earned money. And this here is where you can look at your debt to loan ratios and all of that. Up here, if you go to your company value, you can see your balance sheet here where you can get a breakdown of various areas of your financials. You can even export it to Excel, believe it or not. I prefer to work in Excel. And over here, in your income, you can get a little bit more of an in-depth look at that income and expenditure again. You can then filter it by date, all of that. To then get jobs for your plane in the future, if you want to look at getting other jobs, not just the mission jobs, you go to your aircraft there and you have a look here, that's my Cessna 172. I can then find jobs at the current airport that it is at. So if I click on that little button, it's going to take me to the logistics center. It's saying that I can't ask for jobs on small airports because I've got used small airports as unchecked, so it won't let me do it. So until we actually do that flight and take it back to Sydney, it won't let me look for a new job. But that's where you would essentially look for your new job. We'll take you through that process probably in stream because we're going to be doing a lot of the flying for this in stream moving forward. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview. We are going to be moving over to this career mode, which is the OnAir Airline Manager career mode. I'm just showing you how to do the whole setup and that. I'm just going to go back to the lobby using the Stratus company. I've already set up a company in the Thunderworld, and I'm probably going to be looking to fly my missions in that. There, I'm currently part of a virtual airline, but eventually my aim is to build my own virtual airline and have the members of my community join me, and whoever else wants to join me and just have a fun time. We're going to make it a fun virtual airline. I'm even probably going to look at doing one in Stratus as well for those that want to stay in Stratus and not have have to be forced to fly all their missions. They can do the AI. So I'm going to be continuing my company in Stratus as well. I'm probably going to be looking at using that more as AI run personally, but I will be checking in on it regularly, daily. But I will be focusing a lot of my flying on my Thunder company. Where, again, like I said, I am part of a VA, but I'm going to be eventually leaving that VA so that I can create my own, as I want to create one for our community that we create here at 1080 TV on the Discord and through the streams. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it has been a helpful video for you, and giving you a bit of an overview and a bit of a insight into an alternative to the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 Career Mode, which has had a lot of people up in arms with various bugs and other issues that it's had. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you know when more videos are being uploaded, and leave a comment. I always enjoy seeing comments and responding to them. I look forward to seeing you all on stream. I will be streaming again very, very shortly, and hoping to stream a lot more regularly. And we're going to be going through our OnAir Airline Manager Career Mode with the streams now moving forward. 1080 TV signing out.